The Law School Admission Council just changed how your law school GPA gets calculated effective immediately. If you took college classes while you were still in high school, dual enrollment, early college, whatever your school called it, those grades no longer count towards your LSAC GPA. Now, most people will argue about whether that's fair, but that's the wrong argument. It's going to waste your afternoon. Here's what should actually bother you. The change only applies to transcripts sent to the Law School Admission Council from today forward. And so picture two applicants, same grades, same 4 years. One of them got their transcripts last month because that's what every advisor tells you to do. The other one hasn't requested a single transcript yet. Now they're going to have different GPAs because of when the registrar hit send. And both of them are applying to the same schools this fall. Your GPA isn't yours. It is the Law School Admission Council's. They own the formula. They can change it on a Tuesday morning, and you find out from a video like this one. This is from an email the Law School Admission Council sent to pre-law advisors this morning. I've read it in full. And as I'm recording this, I can't find it anywhere on LSAC's own website. And so if they clarify or reverse something after I make this video, that's why. I've been teaching the LSAT since 2005, and I've watched LSAC move a rule mid-cycle before, but I've never watched one land like this. Now, imagine that you've got an applicant who took college classes at 16 or 17. Nobody told them it counted, and they found out at 22 or 23 when the CAS report came back with a number they didn't recognize, and it cost them getting into a law school, getting scholarship money, an entire cycle. And this doesn't mean the old rule was unfair. They just didn't know the number on the report was not under their control. They didn't know how it would affect them until it was too late. So if you're new to this, you don't send transcripts to law schools, you send them to LSAC. LSAC recalculates everything onto their own scale, and that number is what every school sees. It's almost never the GPA on your diploma because LSAC counts every undergraduate credit you earned before your first degree. Community college, the summer class at the school you transferred out of, the semester you'd rather forget until this morning. That included the classes you took at 16. That all stops today. Now, here is LSAC's stated reason for making the change. And I think it's fair. Access to college classes in high school varies wildly by high school. Some kids get a full early college program. Some kids get nothing. And a lot of the kids who do get classes early will have no idea those grades follow them into a law school application 6 years later. And some of them get told the wrong thing by an adult who should have known better. And that is the exact problem. The issue I have with what they're doing here is the execution. Because LSAC fixed a rule people didn't know about by changing it in a way people didn't know about, effective the same day, with the cutoff tied to a date most applicants can't even remember. And so if your transcripts are already at the Law School Admission Council, you are on the old calculation for this cycle based on LSAC's own language. And if you've already submitted applications, your file is sitting at those schools right now with a number that LSAC has decided just isn't fair. And the email doesn't say what happens to you, doesn't say whether a new transcript arriving later triggers a full recalculation or just gets appended. And so imagine you are the Dean of Admissions. It's November. You've got 4,000 files and a class you've got to build. The GPA field on the CAS report is the field your entire process runs on. It's what your model reads. It's what your median target's measured in. And this year, it is not the same measurement from one file to the next. One was calculated in June under the old rule. The next was calculated in October under the new one. And nothing on the report flags which is which at a glance. And so now you're handing out scholarship money against the median you've got to report to the ABA in the spring, and the median you end up with depends on what mix of formulas happen to come in. That is not a number anyone can defend, and these are people who've got to defend their numbers to a dean, a provost, and the ABA. And so watch what they're going to actually do about it. They can't fix the field. What they can do is stop trusting it and start reading around it. LSAC is putting those dual enrollment grades on the report anyway with a note attached. And so the admissions officer is going to look at the number, see the note, and make a judgment call. So that's giving them more discretion. And my read on this is that LSAC comes back and says they're recalculating everybody because the alternative is running a cycle with 2 different formulas in it, and these schools will hate that even more than applicants will. Or alternatively, it just is what it is and you got to deal with it. And while having 2 different formulas in the same cycle is less than ideal, we've been down this road many times before. I mean, think, for example, about the fact that you had the logic games transition 2 years ago. Some folks took the LSAT with logic games, some took it without. Law schools just looked at the LSAT score and said, your LSAT score is what it is. You've got this year, some folks took the LSAT remotely, some are taking it in person. And now with the transition in August, everyone's taking it in person going forward. Again, it is what it is. And so basically, they just say to themselves, you know what? You could argue it's apples to oranges, but we're going to say, you know what? From our perspective, the number is the number. We just deal with it. And so for some folks, this will be a GPA boost. For other folks, it won't. Ultimately, the size of the move, the effect that it has on you comes down to your dual enrollment credits as a share of your total credits times the gap between your dual enrollment grades and your college grades. That's it. Both terms matter, and most people are only thinking about one of them. So let's say you earned 24 credits of dual enrollment at a 3.4 because you were a kid taking college classes at a kid's maturity level. Then you took 100 credits at a 3.85 GPA in a real 4-year program. The old math blends them together, and LSAC reports you at, say, a 3.76. Strip out the high school credits, and you're at a 3.85. That's 9/100ths up for doing nothing. On the flip side, let's say you were a kid who crushed dual enrollment credits. You had 24 credits, all A's, 4.0 at the community college. Then you did 100 credits at a demanding undergraduate program for a 3.6. The old math had you at 3.68. Under the new formula, you're at a 3.6. So you just lost 8/100ths of a point in a GPA for doing exactly what your guidance counselor told you to do. And LSAC uses their own grade conversion table. And what surprises folks is that the A+ LSAC counts as being above a 4.0. It's listed as 4.33 everywhere I've seen it. And you should confirm that on LSAC's site yourself. But ultimately, if your dual enrollment transcript is full of A+, the grade getting stripped out is higher than you might think, and it's going to give you a bigger hit. So whether you're being harmed or helped by the change, ultimately, this could have an impact on you. But what you can control, because you can't control what LSAC does, and your dual enrollment's probably a done deal already, what you can control is your LSAT score. And funnily enough, strangely enough, your LSAT score weighs more heavily than all of your undergraduate GPA combined, whether it's 24 credits, 6 credits, 100 credits for all I care. And you can retake the LSAT a single day, 2.5 hours, weighs more heavily than any other factor in the admissions process. And so you've got time. The LSAT's coming up. You've got August, September, October, and November. You could take any one of those LSATs. You could take all of those LSATs and still apply to law school this fall. If you want my help getting a higher LSAT score, getting more scholarship money, getting into better law schools, I'm happy to help you out. I'm offering free LSAT tutoring for everybody watching this now or later. You can book that free LSAT tutoring lesson with me at unpluggedprep.com/start. The link's below the video on YouTube, pinned in the chat on YouTube, in my bio on TikTok and IG.